Welcome to Section 420, Talkin Yankees, the podcast. Well, the Yankees get some bad news on the injury front concerning Jasson Domínguez, who originally just tweaked his oblique there and was just on the 7-day IL. Well, looks like it's going to be more than that. Boone announcing that they're going to have to shut him down for 8 weeks. So now you're looking at about 2 months without Jasson Domínguez. And then you got to wonder if he's ever going to be called up here on the major league level. This is something we're kind of looking forward to. So kind of a big news there. So I figured it's worthy of an episode to get into that. So before we get started, make sure you subscribe to this podcast, Section 420 Talkin Yankees, and of course on YouTube as well, Section 420 Talkin Yankees. Look it up there and subscribe. So, a bit of a bad break for the Yankees. Jasson Domínguez obviously coming back from the Tommy John surgery. Took a little while to finally get his season going, and once it did, again, hitting well in AAA, and you kind of figure at some point the Yankees would bring him up here. Now, of course, we all know the stack and busy in the outfield, so it's not like there was a dire need for him. Obviously, if the Judge hand injury was anything worse, then that would have been an opportunity right there. But, of course, the other day, tweaking his oblique on a check swing. Now, he was needed to take it out of the game. And on the most recent YouTube episode, I kind of mentioned, the news at the time was this, that we're going to put him on the 7-day IL. It seemed like a little precautionary thing, not a big deal. But now Boone announcing that he's actually going to be out for 8 weeks. So that is kind of a big deal if he's someone you're looking forward to, because that obviously takes out the rest of June. Then you got all July and probably almost all of August. So when's this guy going to come up? And, of course, you have to be called up before September 1st in order to qualify for the postseason roster. So maybe there's a chance we don't even see this guy at all. Maybe we don't even see him for the postseason. Maybe they have him come up in September just as a sort of a call-up, just to give some guys some rest and give him some reps there, but he's not going to be someone that's going to be available in the postseason. Of course, that would be kind of a big blow because, again, he is a powerful offensive weapon. He was hitting well in the high 300s there in AAA. I understand it's AAA, but still, it's just kind of a big blow for the Yankees. Just the fact that maybe there's a chance now we're not even talking about him in pinstripes at all in 2024 there. So it's kind of a big blow for the Yankees. You dodged a bullet with the Judge hand injury, but this one, this is a pretty big one there. So unfortunately, I don't think it's dire for the Yankees. They weren't depending on him, but it was someone you were kind of looking forward to. So it is a bummer there. So I want to get into that, and also I guess the rest of this episode, Yankees doing some tweaking there in the bullpen. Now I mentioned that obviously they've been taxed. I mentioned here in the audio podcast as well as the YouTube channel. Probably Cashman, when it comes to the trade deadline, his focus is going to be on the bullpen, and we've been seeing it since the offseason, doing a lot of these little moves, picking up guys off that've been designated for assignment, a cut, or from other teams, and kind of trying this guy out, and kind of having a bit of a merry-go-round of guys coming up and down, being cut, and giving guys minor league deals and signing to a major league deals, and then sending them back down. Again, lately the bullpen hasn't been good for the Yankees. We saw the recent Baltimore series. Games 2 and 3. The Yankee bullpen has got beat down as well in Fenway. The second and third games as well also got beat down, and now it's also another problem starting to leak into the Yankee starting rotation, which at least up to this point very recently was collectively the best in baseball in terms of collective ERA. But now you're seeing some guys getting lit up a little bit. I'm talking about Marcus Stroman in Boston, Luis Gil, his last start against the Baltimore Orioles. Now he was kind of due because he was pretty much money for a long time, but still that's the case. Cole came back great, but was only able to go 4 innings and did get touched up a little bit for a couple of runs, but not going to hold that against him. And, of course, Carlos Rondon now, at least in his first game against the Braves, giving up 3 runs early on and being bested by Chris Sale, kind of looking like the old Chris Sale from like 4 or 5 years ago. And the Yankees right now, I guess, they made a little bit of a rut. And not only the bullpen is having some problems now, keeping the score close, but now it's starting to leak into the starting rotation, starting to falter a little bit. So again, the reason why this Cole coming back at this time is probably good timing there, because a couple of these guys probably could use a bit of a blow in a way, just with some of the workload and pressure of what they'd have to do without Cole around there. So of course the Yankees make a couple of moves now. Didn't get the chance to really get into the last episode, which was kind of a coverage of Cole's debut and of course the Baltimore series. But the Yankees did make a move before the final game there, and that's signing a veteran left-hander Tim Hill to a 1-year deal. Now, he was designated for assignment by the Chicago White Sox. He's no spring chicken. He's 34 years old. Again, giving up a lot of singles there, not having a great season. If you understand why they DFA'd him. He was pitching to a 5.87 ERA. And ironically, at least up to that point before he joined the Yankees, he at least had given up a home run all season. So what happens, of course, comes into the Yankee game, 2 runners on, and of course gives up a home run. So thank you very much. The reason you got the guy because he doesn't give up home runs. You bring him up in there, and like the first guy with 2 runners on gives up a 3-run home run to really put that game out of the way. There. So welcome to the Yankees, Tim Hill. There, I don't know how long he's going to last. Now, what they do seem to like about him is, for all his issues. Obviously, he's a lefty. Kind of has a little, bit of a sidewind, a funky arm angle slot there. So can be tough on lefties if he can get his stuff together there. So you kind of like that. But despite the higher ERA and a lot of singles he's been giving up per innings, his 65.6 ground out ratio is third best in baseball. And that's behind, I guess, Holmes and I guess Cano for Baltimore there. So, for all his faults, he still gets a lot of ground balls. So I guess the Yankees are looking at that. Now, to make the room for him, the Yankees have to had a clear little space there in the bullpen. So they designated for assignment the other lefty. That was Victor Gonzalez, who also pitched in the Baltimore game and also gave up a home run. And again, just lately, he just hasn't been he's been good. He's been sloppy. Hasn't been able to put runners away. He's been getting touched up a bit. So they've eventually designated him for the sign, which again, you can kind of figure this was going to happen. And I just mentioned again recently, the Yankee bullpen has again it's been getting knocked around a lot, and it looks like Victor Gonzalez is going to, obviously take some of the blame for that. So he designated him for assignment. He's still a quality pitcher, but he's only 28 years old. He'll get picked up somewhere. But it's kind of a bum it didn't work out. And again, he was supposed to be the kind of de facto replacement for Wandy Peralta. Didn't exactly happen. And we'll see what happens. Maybe if San Diego has like a bit of a nosedive, maybe you could get a trade and get Wandy Peralta back there, because it seems like the Yankees really haven't solved that problem. And right now, based on one game, it doesn't seem like Tim Hill's the solution either. Now, the Yankees making some other moves as well, and that's also with Ron Marinaccio, who, of course, can never catch a break. But he has himself to blame a little bit in this one. He got knocked around a little bit in that second Oriole game. He gets himself optioned down to AAA. Now, boom, and mentioned that this is more a numbers game, just with the people in the bullpen, the shifting guys around there. So, and he's used to this. He's been up, he's been down, he's been up and down. But this time it's kind of a little bit of his own doing there. Again, he hasn't been atrocious overall. He only been up for, only been about 2 weeks or so. But still, again, didn't really a great case for him to stay there. So he gets shipped down, and that's to make room for Phil Bickford, who the Yankees had in AAA. They signed him to a minor league deal, and I guess he's pitching gets well enough. They're figuring to bring him up here to get some quality outs there in the bullpen. Now, the page on him, I guess he's been bounced around the majors and minors a little bit for a while, but last pitch for the Mets last year in 23, so former Met there. But in AAA for the Yankees, been pretty good. A 2-2 record with a 2.93 ERA, so you got an ERA shade under 3. That's right there. And if you want to just look at his putouts there, 27 and 2/3 innings. He has 23 hits, so less hits per inning, which is good there. Only 12 walks, so again, that's about half of the innings there, so that's good there. But what you would like to see is 35 strikeouts in 27 innings there. So we average about a little bit more than a strikeout per inning, so you like to see that stuff. A young guy, 28 there, so so you can still say somewhat in his prime there, and not like a guy's probably gonna lose his fastball anytime soon there. So you're gonna give him a shot, as well as they also brought up Yoendrys Gomez from AAA as well. We saw him very briefly for a cup of coffee. He's kind of in that Luis Gil, Albert Abreu, from him sort of fashion. If he's on, his strikeout stuff could be pretty nasty there. So giving him another shot as well, I guess maybe just to again give Marinaccio a blow there. Now have Gomez up here and Bickford. And now, of course, with Tim Hill also signed to a 1-year deal. So, how long these guys will last, I don't know. A week from now, it'll be another update. And sure, maybe by the time Tim Hill's gone and maybe they send Gomez down and then send Marinaccio back up, who knows? This is all, of course, the Yankees also working to get back a couple of big pieces, one of them being JT Brubaker. That was another Cashman kind of nondescript deal he did there in the offseason, trade from Pittsburgh. And, of course, Scott Efros also working his way back. So maybe down the road, the Yankees are going to get some more weapons in the bullpen. So, again, this right now, as I mentioned in the last episode and on the YouTube episode, Cashman is trying to keep this all together with, Band-Aids and Scotch tape and guys up, coming down, and guys being waived and stuff like that. Probably going to still be that way for a little bit more. I do think, again, once it comes time to trade deadline, he's going to at least bring in a marquee name just to get, an eighth-inning guy, just to bring someone in here a little bit more stable. I think they like Luke Weaver. They like what Clay Holmes is doing so far this season, but still need maybe another piece or two there to really, round out this bullpen. Who knows how long you can keep getting what you're getting from Mike Tompkin. I don't know how long that's going to last. And, even this Phil Bickford doing well in AAA, maybe comes up here, he's good for a game or two, and then maybe he starts falling apart. We don't know there. So, it's just, again, it's been a merry-go-round with the bullpen there. But now you're starting to see things really starting to crack with the Yankees. Again, I don't say they're in a slump yet, but again, they've been, the Boston series, the Baltimore series, and now at least the start of this Braves series. Pitching has not been good for the Yankees. Offense also is teetering a little bit. Of course, we know Judge got hit in the hand, plus he wasn't available for the second Oriole game. We saw Gleyber Torres have to leave the final Oriole game. Now, a little piece of good news lately for the Yankees. MRI was negative on that. So at least again, he's not hurt there. But again, whether he's hurt or not hurt, again, Gleyber not really producing consistently. And you look at some other spots for the Yankees. DJs have his issues there. Of course, we know Rizzo had his issue before he got hurt there. But hopefully Ben Rice could take this opportunity and really take off on it. You kind of need other guys in this, Judge and Soto and Volpe contributing the lineup there. So it looks like the Yankee offense is getting a little stagnant right now. So, and again, it's getting hot. You got this heat wave, not across New York, but just across the whole East Coast there. So it's getting rough, getting tough, and the competition's getting tough. Again, we just had a tough Baltimore team coming here. Braves are, maybe not the Braves of 2 years ago, but still 10 games over 500. They're kind of competing there in the NL East. And of course, the Mets, who you wanted the Mets like a month ago when they were down and out and basically ready to quit in the season. Of course, we all know about the Grimace throwing out the first pitch there. Now, since then, they've been on a bit of a hot streak. So now you're catching the Mets when they're hot. Which is not good news for the Yankees, and plus these games are at Citi Field there, so gives the Mets yet another advantage there. So now the Yankees also have to contend with that next week. So a lot of issues for the Yankees right now. Again, they're still right there in the top of the AL East. I don't want to say things are dire right now, but things were kind of smooth sailing for the Yankees. May was looking good. June, everything was going great. The starting rotation was looking fabulous. Judge was on a tear. Soto was doing great. Everything was going great. And now you're looking at some of these problems here with this poor pitching performance, both from the rotation as well as the bullpen. And now the offense teetering a little bit. Even Soto down to 315, which is not terrible, but not too long ago Soto was hitting 340 there. So even he's coming to earth down a little bit. And let's see, maybe he's still dealing with his injured forearm, which he claims is still not 100% yet. Still good enough to play, it's not garbage, but a couple little cracks there, a little thing. And again, with the hot weather and the top competition, not as easy as it has been for the Yankees so far this season. So we'll see what these latest solutions by Cashman does. But the big news is, as I said at the top there, Jasson Domínguez out for 8 weeks there, and really puts, again, real big danger that maybe we don't see him at all this season. Maybe this they chalk it up to a mulligan. Again, he's young, 21, 22. So if you might consider this a quote-unquote dead year, it's not the worst thing in the world, but he was someone you're looking forward to. So we'll see how that all shakes out. Catch you next time.